Welcome back to the Smoking Leaf Podcast. Took a week off, some scheduling things. Nothing's perfect in this world. But we back, ain't going nowhere, gonna be here. This week we're at the Home Lounge, Zodi'x, Brown Rock, Texas. Pull up. You tuning back in, like and subscribe, share. Remember, we talked about it. Love and support is a verb. While we talking about that verb, go on the website, cop some merch. Appreciate you. This week part is gonna be lovely. We got great things coming. Title of the party, the value of service. We got an amazing guest, good friend. Thank you for tuning in. Lighten up, join the vibe. This week, do a word of the week. And going forward, we're gonna do a word of the week. And the word of the week this week is service. Everybody want to be a boss. Everybody want to be a master, run some shit, tell people what to do. But service. And I think that at the core of service is the other part of life that we really, really value in its purpose and its gift. And it's a gift. And we're all gifted and we have a gift. But what is a gift until you give it away? And to me, I see service as that. Service is that gift, your purpose wrapped up together, that concoction of your gift and your purpose given away to people. Now, I also think that the better you are at being selfless, the better you will be at serving. I'm telling you that as a co-founder of a company, the life of a husband, the life of a father. I've lived. In order to do those things well, you got to live outside of yourself, and you got to be willing to serve. And it's value in that. Hence the title of the bar. There's value in service, but the best way to serve is to be outside of yourself. But boy, it ain't easy. It ain't easy, man. It ain't easy. It'll make your household better. It'll make your father. It'll make you a better father. I'm a girl dad. I got a crash course in it. But serving, through the lens of being a girl dad and as a founder and as a leader and as a business owner, I'm better in that. When I put me a little bit less at the front, when I take a little bit of that air out of my motherfucking chest, I'm better at it. Word of the week, service. Let's do it. Just value. Welcome back to the Smoking Leaf Podcast. Today's episode is entitled The Value of Service. Excited. Before we introduce our guests, I want to say that one of the things that we talked about when starting this pod was to evolve and to learn. And one of the things I hope that this pod assists us with doing is evolving and learning to value service, our servicemen and women. I'm an extremely thankful person for the United States military, every branch, people that are alive, people that lost their lives, and the families that support them. I'm the grandson of a veteran, the nephew of veterans, and many other family and friends that are veterans. The person that introduced me to cigars is a veteran of the Marines. Shout out to Jadon. So, that being said, we're going to get started with our introduction. E4 specialist, airborne infantryman, deployed to Afghanistan, 2006 to 2008, awarded 2 ARCOM medals. Husband, a father, a friend, a damn good human, Anthony Mccoy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
To lighten it up a little bit, let's talk cigars on the Smoking Leaf Podcast. Your introduction to cigars.
My introduction.
Yes, sir.
My introduction starts in 2008.
Okay.
After my deployment, we get out. All of us fellas, you know, our CO hands everybody a cigar. You know, Victory Cigars. Everybody, hey, take one, take one, take one. You know, and I'm 22 at the time. My first one. I never smoked a cigar before.
Did anybody give you any advice?
None.
Okay.
None. Never did it. I'm thinking it's a blunt. You know.
Obviously.
But
what did we say? 22.
yeah. So everybody's lighting up. I'm watching everybody, seeing how this goes. I'm like, oh, hey, let me clip it. Let me light
Do
it.
they look like they know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And first time I go for it, puff, inhale, I'm coughing up the lung 5 seconds later, man. It was so bad. And I got all these killers around me.
Right.
You know?
You were a killer at the time, literally.
I wasn't looking like one then. Bro, it was bad. Hey, McCoy, calm down a little bitch. I was like, it took me like 10 minutes to stop coughing. Like, you all right? They was like, you don't inhale. You just puff it. I was like, oh.
Were you nauseous?
Yeah, I was nauseous for like, I was up for like 5 minutes.
For sure.
So, yeah, but good times. Good times, man.
For sure. So, sidebar, listen. Cigar smokers, as people that aspire to be cigar smokers, don't inhale. Episode 1, I believe Mr. Lowe said, like mouthwash, you don't swallow, you don't inhale the smoke. Again, thank you for your service.
No
I
problem.
realize that
No problem.
the freedoms that we enjoy often come with bloodshed.
No problem.
Your why? Why did you choose to serve?
My father was in. All my life, I watched my father come home after a long day, and you know he would talk to my mom about his issues, and you know I saw my father was in great shape. You know he was a leader. He always had his shit together. You know, and you know monkey see, monkey do. I saw what he did.
Do you mind if I ask what branch he served?
He was in the Army. I went. We were both in the Army.
Yeah. And if I didn't say, did I say that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Did I say that at the beginning?
No.
He served in the Army. Yeah.
Served in the Army, and I followed in his footsteps. You know, and I wanted to do the same thing. And what really added fuel to the fire was the 2001.
Oh, September 11th.
I was
What were you then?
Junior in high school. And I saw what was going on, and you know, freedom this, freedom that. So I was like, that just deterred me more to say, you know what, I got to do this. It's got to happen. So that's what I did.
So what year did you enlist?
Say again?
What year did you enlist?
I enlisted in 2006. Got out in 2011.
That's great. Again, thank you for that. A little tangent. What was your most memorable moment serving? Happiest memorable moment in serving? Yeah.
Happiest memorable moment. I got out of my first firefight, and I never thought I was gonna make it. To be honest with you, I thought I was just somebody's gonna get me. And after this firefight, which was a hell of a firefight, by the way, I was happy to be alive. I was like, I joined the military to do this, but once you really get into the shit, oh damn, this isn't Call of Duty.
So, can you mind if I dig deeper? What was the most surprising element to experiencing a firefight compared to training?
I was surprised how level-headed I was. I was surprised that the training actually worked.
Okay.
I was calling out what I saw. I called out when I had to reload. We said black. You know, they listened. I called my team leader back. Hey, back up. You know, we got people at our 6. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised that.
And you felt like the team responded with that same training?
That's how I got my ARCOM Medal. I was only an E3 at the time. I was still a private.
Okay.
But I had 2 E4s and an E5 ahead of me in my team.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 E4s, they were busy fighting an enemy to our 3 o'clock. I called out the 6, and my squad leader at the time, he was a ranger. Hey, listen to McCoy, hey, back up, you know? And I was just surprised at myself at what I did.
Sure.
I'd never been in a fight before that, you know. So, and I was happy to get out. I thank God for making it out alive because it was nasty. It was a nasty fight we got into. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank God you're here, and
Yep.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so the happiest moment was you felt like was leaving that firefight safe, sound.
Safe sound. I was happy. I when I joined up, I knew what I was getting into.
Because we were in Afghanistan at that time, right?
Yes. Yeah. I knew what I was getting into, but I never thought coming out was an option. You know, of course, everybody thinks, hey, you know what, I'm gonna make it back. But after the shit that I seen, I was like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. And once I did, you know, once I came out of that, I had confidence in myself. I was like, I can do this. I was at that point on. It was a good thing. It was a good thing it ended. I thank God it ended. I thank God I made it out of that. Um, and to this day, I'm happy for it.
Um, if you don't mind, because I really think that the value, I think that sometimes we don't um, properly value a thing because we don't have enough details about it.
Yeah.
So we get a phone, you find out the specifications, and you're like, okay, it's worth that. We get a vehicle, we find out the specs of what it comes with. We see its value, we tour home. So I think that a lot of times the ignorance that the public has is not understanding the struggle or the actual value of the service that a person that serves in the military provides, sacrifices.
I don't think most people understand. Nowadays, you know, everybody grows up different. Everybody has their own perspective of what it's really like. But you don't know something until you experience it, right? You
Sure.
don't know until you experience it, and it's not something that I would want for everybody. Even though I came out a completely different person, more confident, just feel better about myself. I feel like I can take on the world, but it's a big responsibility, and it's nothing to take lightly when you join. You know, in times like even in times like this, with everything going on,
Oh my God, yeah.
if you're in now,
Tipping point
yeah, you know, who knows where you're gonna go? Who
right.
knows what you're gonna do? And you know, people, you know, for me, when I first got in, I was all gun ho. We're gonna go do this. We're good guys, bad guys over there.
Right.
That's just not how it is. That's not how it is. That's not how it is. And hell, I was questioning myself plenty of times on the shit that I was doing. Plenty of times, you know. And
Training versus humanity.
you see, you you see people over there. Some of them are just living their lives. They don't give a shit about what's going on.
I mean, like in America, like some Americans oblivious to politics could care less about those things.
You know, and a lot of people can say a lot of things they want to say about the army, about you know we're the world's police and all that stuff. I love what I did for my country. I'll never say I didn't. I love what I did for my country. I live here. My family live here. My homeboys, my friend, everybody lives here.
Of course, of course.
So I'll never regret on what I did. But you have to understand that it's a big world out there, and just like me, I want to protect my family, friends, everybody. They
So
want to
do
do the
other
same
people.
thing,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, and the fact is that every war probably has a winner and a loser.
Every war has a winner and a loser, and the
I mean, in maybe some instances two losers, but there's gonna be a loser in a war.
usually
Sure.
are. And in my opinion, you know, a lot of the losers are the people that are on the ground.
Yeah.
They have to experience it. They have to do the things that, you know, maybe they don't want to do. But you get orders, you follow orders, and you follow through to it. You got no choice. You know,
Sure.
that's why a lot of us, you see veterans in certain spots driving down the street, you know, asking for stuff, or you know, you see veterans fighting so hard for their benefits and stuff right now. They had to go through a lot. You know?
So can we um excuse me if happy moment What things do you think, before I ask that, what was transitioning like?
Transitioning.
After 5 years, 2011, what was that like?
Transitioning.
The first moment. You got your papers, you got your whatever, what is it called? The DD
Yeah,
214?
DD 214. You're finally out.
You're a civilian. What was that first day like going forward? I mean, some of this is loaded. I'm aware of some of the struggles, but let's.
I would say when I got out, I was happy. I was happy that I didn't have to do PT every morning. To be honest with you, that was the first thing I was happy.
No reveille. What?
I had no PT no more. Nobody's up my ass yelling at me, talking about all this shit. That was the first thing I was happy about. Now I can do and eat whatever the hell I want.
Right.
But as time went on, I was with my father, and we were eating out, and
How much time had passed? This for
maybe 30 days.
okay.
Maybe 30 days had passed.
That's fresh.
And I'm eating, and I had no idea I was doing this. I'm eating, and I'm staring at folks, giving motherfuckers the death stare. I didn't know I was doing it.
Assessing threats.
I didn't know I was doing it. I was watching stuff. I was sweating at the same time, and I had no idea. Hey, are you all right? Yeah, what's up, Pop? Hey, man, you calm down. You all right?
But to better understand, how much time was there between when you got out and when you? Oh yeah, 3 years. I'm sorry, I know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So
2008, yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, it was transitioning. It's really important that people coming out, especially you coming out of wartime, you transition back to civilian life. Civilian life is different compared to military life. The military takes care of you. You got the barracks, you got the defag, you got the clothes that you wear, you got your time set out for you already. Bring your ass to work this
So it's
time.
more responsibility on this side for sure.
There's more responsibility, I joined at 20. Before I was out to get on my own in civilian life and do my thing, I went straight to the military. And
So your initial taste of adulthood was
my adulthood was the military. That's all I knew. So when I had to get out and make a life for myself, it took me a long ass time to get where I'm at today. It was not an easy transition.
Could you, if you're okay with sharing, three of your top struggles?
To get where I'm at today, it was not an easy transition.
Could you, if you're okay with sharing, three of your top struggles?
My main one, well,
whether they be social, social, financial.
Social's one.
Okay. Could you give an example that you care to share?
The people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a lot of people in my life because I wasn't social. I didn't know how to socialize in certain environments. In the military, you can talk about death and women, and jokes are really dark. It was just the thing that we did.
The most extreme version of freedom of speech.
The most extreme, but
Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle.
You know what I'm saying? Just the most extreme shit. And it wasn't like that when I got out. People didn't understand certain things.
Shout out to Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle.
Got out. And yeah, that was one of the things that for sure I just wasn't ready for it. And unfortunately, I found myself inside, not interacting with people. I didn't want to interact. I was scared to go out there and something was going to happen and I was going to have to react to something. So to prevent that, I stayed away from people.
Was there a resource available and for you, and what was it? What did it take for you to jump that hurdle?
Before I get there, real quick.
Yeah.
Social.
I apologize.
Financial. And mental health.
Okay. So I think you addressed the financial part was a struggle because of degree of responsibility, right?
Yeah.
If you got PX and you're in your uniform every day.
Mm-hmm.
So can we go back to now? What steps did you take? And so this question, I'm asking this question for myself, of course, to learn. But I'm also asking this question so that people that are supporting a family member of a veteran, you can know this struggle. And then for people that are veterans and you may have this struggle, you may not be familiar with this resource or way to reach a solution to a similar problem. So could you share what resources, what tools you use to overcome the social and the mental hurdle?
Before I even sought out the tools,
Yeah.
I had to lose a lot of people. I had to lose jobs. I had to lose a lot before I decided to go get help, unfortunately. And one of the first things that I lost, one of the main things that I lost was somebody important in my life that I was dating. Um, she left me because I didn't get help. She kept waiting for me to do it, but I never did. So
She recommended it. She advised.
she advised me.
And when she was doing it, did you think you needed it in the lead? Okay.
No, I am who I am. You know,
Of course.
I thought I was fine. You know, you don't know about mental health or PTSD. You don't know about this.
Well, I mean, at 20, at 25,
Yeah, it's just I'm living my life. I'm a badass. Hey.
and then in manhood, it's like what? Right.
So once I lost her, then I lost jobs after that. I lost my apartment, and it was just a downward spiral from there. So I decided to get help after that. I decided to talk to some people.
I salute you for that, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Which, by the way, everybody, if you're getting out, go to your nearest VA hospital, your VA, local VA office, and talk to those guys. Those guys, huge. They're a huge benefit.
Go to the VA.
Go to the VA, talk to them. Once I started getting help, it took a while because I was in this stuck space where it was just hard to get out. I lived a certain way, and I was trained a certain way to do things. I had to untrain myself. You're a civilian now. You can't do these things anymore. You can't go around expecting shit to pop off at every turn. You can't drive down the street thinking somebody's following you. Now you gotta do defensive driving, crazy shit like a maniac. You can't go to a movie theater and sit way in the back and watch everybody else and not watch the damn movie.
Right. But as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
it's got to be a hell of a thing. You were literally trained to do this thing.
Yeah. It is what it is, and I would never take it back. I will never take it back. It made me who I am today. But transitioning, going from the military to civilian life, it's a huge step, and it needs to be done. It needs to be done for sure. And don't wait. Don't wait. I'm about to be 40 now, and 25, 25 to 30, 35. Those are years that I wish I could
Have done differently.
did differently.
Well, just in my in my ignorance, how soon after you are discharged are those resources available? The next day, could a person go to the VA if they were feeling suicidal, if they were feeling low, if they were feeling overwhelmed? Could they go the next day?
They could.
Okay,
They could.
that's good to know.
They could do it, but for one, just speaking to the male part of it, we're not going to do that.
Ego.
We're not going to do that, especially black men. Seeing help, dealing with the issues we got going on, it's just something that, in my opinion, our community, it's just something that we just don't do very often. We can deal with it. We're going to deal with it. We're going to keep moving on.
Can we delve into that malehood part?
Yeah.
It's a sister. I'm pretty sure I quoted her somewhere else on the pod. She said, I read this in her book. I'm not saying that she said that this was her quote, but I read this in her book. And she said, ego, because it's our egos, right? She said, ego, check this out. She said, ego stands for easing God out. I understand if you don't have a God concept, and I respect your decision. I do. And so I think that in manhood, humanity as a whole, manhood also specifically, and easing God out, I think we start to see things subjectively, like through this lens, like right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus not.
I never heard of that. That's deep. Easing God out.
But
Yeah. That's I think she's right. I think she's right completely. I think she's right completely. I mean, when you get out, you're not thinking about God. At least I wasn't. I wasn't thinking about God when I was, yeah, when I was in there, you know. So it was tough, but I think she's completely right. It's something that we do, especially men, especially black men. We don't want to accept that, you know. But I do go to church now. I love it.
excuse
Yeah, it's one of the things that I actually had to do. Start going to church and start accepting God into my life. But I completely agree with what you said. Completely agree.
me. Would you like a drink?
Ah, yes, I will gladly take it.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties. It's a new bottle, Balvenie. So if you're interested in the pairing, I'm smoking a Monte Cristo. This is Balvenie, a double wood, 12 years age Scotch. And what's that you're smoking?
This is 28, 20 farm, 20 acre farm.
20 Acre Farm. So there you go. Pairing for the day, Balvenie, Monte Cristo, and whatever. 28. What did you say? 20 Acre?
20 acre farm.
20 Acre Farm.
Smooth, I like it.
Yeah, Lo said that yours is more flavorful than the one I picked.
And I believe him. I believe him.
There you go, sir. I'll let you.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go. Toast to you transitioning. I saw the growth. So, side, insider
Yeah.
information. This is a friend of mine, so I witnessed the transition, and I was also experiencing my own transition through my own life struggles. And I will say, and take this time to say, go to therapy. I went to therapy, and the very first, I'm gonna get real raw and honest as you share some personal things. Excuse me. Here we go.
There we go.
Toast to the transition and the success.
Toast to it, man.
Yes, sir. And to every veteran, thank you, past and present. So, men, people, and the reason I'm saying men is I think women, young ladies from a very young age experience camaraderie.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders, how do I look? They help each other get dressed, so they experience outside input and welcome it.
Yeah.
It's a social norm for
Yeah.
them. Generally speaking, and welcome it.
Yeah.
It's a social norm for
Yeah.
them. Generally speaking, I know there's exceptions to the rule. Don't hold me to. I'm just saying more often than not. Men, we are introspective. You better not cry. You choke your smoke. You better hold your vomit. Throw up in your cover. Get hit in the chest. We get a whoop. What you better not cry. You know what I'm saying?
Don't show any weakness.
Right. Right.
weakness.
I remember in a fight, a dude hit me in the chest. Like he was trying to hit me in the face, but he hit me in the chest. I couldn't breathe. So everybody knew it was like, why are you not saying nothing or hitting him?
Nah.
Right, I dare not say I can't breathe right now.
Yeah,
so I was swinging without breath. But anyway, so just that. However, I was in a situation, in a really rough situation, mentally and emotionally. I experienced a divorce. I said that, and in that time, the idea of failure, I hated it. My parents had been divorced. I didn't want to repeat something they had done. It's getting raw and real. So boom, therapy. So going to see the therapist, she could tell that I was a bit resistant, and she said, "Joseph, here's the question for you. She said if you were experiencing a mechanical problem with your vehicle, what would you do? I would see a mechanic.
Yeah.
But if my car's under warranty, whatever, I would in some way see a mechanic. She was like, right, you would entrust it to a professional. I said, of course. She said, right. If you were in need of a repair at your home and you were unable to do the handiwork, what would you do? I'd find a contractor.
Yeah.
A craftsman or a tradesman, right, that is specialized in it. Of course. Where you going with this?
Mm-hmm.
She said, so Joseph, why would you be opposed to a mind specialist helping you improve your thoughts? I'm gonna leave you with that. I won't say her last name. Patricia was her first name. She asked me that question, and I posed that question to you. If you are opposed to therapy, don't you see a professional or a specialist or somebody that's better than you at everything else?
Real talk.
Excuse me.
Real talk.
I do know this, and back to transitioning. Education has been a big part of your transition. So can you delve into that, the importance of that, what resources are available, and whatever else you care to share in that journey, that struggle, and then the success that you succeeded at.
Education's huge. I was 11 Bravo. That's infantry. So only thing I can do was a police officer, security guard. That's all I had under my belt. Before I start, if you're going in,
Thank you.
a bit of knowledge. Do something that you can transition to when you're out. Something in the tech field, something in the medical field, something that's going to transition you. So when you get out, you have the skills that you earned from the military that can transition to the civilian world. You got to trust me on that.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. Again, security guard, police officer. I didn't want a police officer. I didn't want to deal with that power anymore.
Okay.
I knew better than that.
That wasn't for you anymore.
It wasn't for me anymore. Only thing I could do was security guard. It's security guard. It's a good gig, but trying to make it on security guard pay now, do something.
And then dealing with the things that you were struggling with.
Yes. So once again, definitely do something that can transition to the civilian world. But I do say education's huge. While you're in, if it's still the same, you can get an education while you're in. Take advantage of it. When I was in, they allowed us to go to college. Hey, you know what? If you want to go to college, talk to your CO. They can help you get that done. When you get out, you got the GI Bill. I'm here in Texas, so we have GI Bill, we have Hazelwood Act, and we have the Yellow Ribbon. The Hazelwood Act alone has 150 credit hours that you can use.
Wow.
You can get a master's
degree. Yeah.
And that's not even counting the GI Bill. The GI Bill, if you all don't know, you can go to school anywhere within the state that you join military services, and you get paid to go to school and go to school for free. It's an amazing resource. Do not skip out on it. But on top of that, there's other resources. There's so many other resources. They got I'm in IT, so they have classes for soldiers or vets who want to transition into IT. It's called the Cyber Warrior Program.
Cyber Warrior Program. It'll be down below.
Teaches you cybersecurity. You don't, and that's not using your GI Bill. That's not using your Hazelwood or Yellow Ribbon. They just help you get into that field.
Wow.
That's
good to know.
Huge.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no
please, veterans, family, friends of veterans, share this information. Data is king. Information is king. We live in the information age. Thank you for sharing that.
One more tidbit I would love to put out there.
Please.
If you are struggling, I just found this out a week ago. And definitely look it up so you can put it in there. Findhelp.org. As soon as you go to that website,
Findhelp.org. FINDHELP.org. It'll be down below.
As soon as you go to that website, they're going to ask you to put in your zip code. And what this thing does is it finds all the places where you can get free food.
Is it a veteran resource?
It's everybody resource. But veterans get preference.
Okay,
you get preference for this.
Okay.
You can get food, water, clothing, money. education.
Wow.
They just help and they donate a whole lot. They just donate stuff that they have available to you. That's just another resource that
Thank
you
you.
have to you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And a huge shout out to the military, man. My uncle was in the military. I saw my uncle was in the Air Force, grandfather was in the Army.
Okay.
Both of them had great experience with the VA. They were buried by the VA when my grandfather passed away. The entire hospital saluted him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the funerals were taken care of. I've seen more good experience for veteran support than I've seen bad experience, and I'm sure there could be improvement. What if there could be some improvements in the system as in terms of support? What would they be? What would you like to see? What could have made the transition smoother in terms of resources? Not you being willing to go get the resources,
Yeah.
but the resource itself being available.
They'll give you a class. I forget what it's called. They'll give you a class when you're getting out to tell you to do these things, and then they leave it alone.
Oh wow!
That's it. They don't. They
So when
don't.
you get out, there's no follow up, check back in. Hey, how's your health?
Once Uncle Sam
Want
is
some
done with you,
counseling?
he's done with your ass.
Oh wow!
So it's up
So a
to you.
better some an agency or a department or something that assisted with that transition a little more proactively.
Yeah. That's why I tell people go to your nearest VA office.
Okay.
These guys want to help you do your thing. Again, the Army, they're going to give you the steps. Hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, and that's it.
Okay.
You got to, unfortunately,
Be persistent.
You got to be persistent. And with that being said, it doesn't matter what MOS you did, go look into getting your disability benefits. That is a very huge and important thing to do. Don't skip out and be like, I did it. I was like, they're not going to give me that, you know. But now, my benefits help me out a lot.
And if you don't mind me asking a question or two, one of them is loaded, but then you would have more information about the other. I'm going to say this first. I think you're deserving of it, no matter what your MOS was. My uncle, who was something, though he was 50 plus years my senior, 40 plus years my senior, excuse me. He retired from the military with the chief warrant officer 5. They didn't have that rank.
Yeah.
As a nutritionist and dietitian and what is the food service?
DFAC, the MOS I can't remember, but I know.
But in the food service, anyway,
Yeah.
ran the kitchen, and I was like, "But you told me you went to Vietnam." He was like, "Right, I ran the motherfucking kitchen in Vietnam." So I was feeding people, watching them get blown up and killed. I was like, "Oh wow!" So
I get blown up his damn self.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say this: don't judge anybody, no matter where they're served. Secondly, as a veteran, don't feel. I'm not saying this from experience. I'm saying it from second and third experience. Don't feel like you are less deserving of the benefits if you serve 1 day or 30 days, because if your number had got called, you would have been in that situation.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Yeah. Good advice, man. Completely agree. No matter what you did, go make sure you get what you deserve.
And speaking of the deserving part, and this is a statement then a question. Think about what you may be depriving your significant other and children of, and then can you speak to that? What benefits would they be missing out for their children or their spouse?
Yeah. So if you are married or have children, or take care of your parents, all of it, all that factors in.
Oh wow.
So I'm here in Texas. I'm fortunate enough to have 100%. I got that because mental issues. I'll be real. Mental issues. I have PTSD, and there's not much, unfortunately, I can do certain places in public, doing certain things that the normal person can't do, unfortunately. But with that being said, my wife, my kid, they have free health services.
And can I ask, with that is Is that basic health services? Do they need a supplemental type of insurance or something of that nature? Or that's enough. That's great insurance.
Well, there's two types.
Okay.
So if you did 20 years and then retired,
Okay.
they'll get TRICARE. They don't have to worry about health services ever again.
Okay. Okay.
If you're like me, you didn't do 20 years, you didn't retire, they can still get health services, but it'll be under the VA. It's called Champ VA.
Okay.
That's what they'll get. So an example of how Champ VA works is, let's say my wife goes to the emergency room.
Okay.
She
The
has
regular emergency room.
regular civilian emergency room. She has to present her VA health card.
Okay.
When she presents that,
Equivalent of an insurance card.
yeah, the VA would take care of all of it, if not most of it, depending on the situation.
Okay. Like regular insurance, a copay or something. Okay.
Pretty much. There are some cases where she went and they took care of all of it. They just handed it off.
Good.
But that's what I have. That's what I currently have. But other good benefits, you can pass on your GI Bill if you don't use it to your kid. Your kid can also use in Texas, he can use the Hazelwood app. So he has free schooling. He doesn't have to worry about that. I live in Texas. I don't pay property taxes on my house.
And there's property taxes on the home that you dwell in, right?
That you dwell in that home that you dwell in.
Hear this? Don't miss out on this. You deserve it.
Toll roads, not all toll roads, but damn near most of them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay certain toll roads. Free flying, movie tickets. I couldn't even name. It would take us 3 hours to go over the amount of crap you can get as a better.
So, please, could you do this for the people? And comment on if you have any questions. We'll put you in touch. But will you please, after the episode, or after we finish filming, give me a few of those websites, and we can put some of them down below in the comments, in the description, excuse me, so people can tap into those.
Absolutely.
Resources.
No problem.
And of course, findhelp.org and the other that you mentioned, we'll do that also.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But yes, go get those benefits. Get what's entitled to you.
You were saying something about your parents. I had never heard of that.
Oh, so parents. So if let's say you take care of your parents, depends. Let's say you're 70% disabled,
and your parent is you're dependent.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You're dependent. You'll get paid for taking care of your parents.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's say you're 70% with a wife and kid. 70% in Texas is like $1,700. Your wife adds another $200. Your kid adds another $150. I can't remember the exact numbers. And your parents add more on top of that. So you can be at like well over $2,000 for doing that. So there's a whole lot of benefits. And like I said earlier, it's super important. You go to the VA, you get all this information, and don't quit. It's going to be a fight, unfortunately. Keep going.
Appreciate you sharing that. Thank you for your service, Ty. Thank you, everyone, for your service. Thankful for the people that aren't here anymore. Thank you for the families that support them. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love what you're doing here, man.
Appreciate it.
I love what you're doing here.
Anybody want to shout out in your journey of service?
My boy Maciel, he joined with me. Shout out to you.
The Eminem duo.
Eminem duo, boy. We was
shit.
We was bad. We still got a message.
I heard the story. Another time for that.
My father, Pop, it was because of you. I did what I did, and I turned out to who I am today.
Salute to you, Pop. I hear about you weekly.
And of course, my wife, which interesting story. She's a therapist.
Right.
She
so she been on your head.
I mean, I talked to her,
though. Yeah.
And she wasn't. When I told her some of the shit, like I tell you, I didn't scare her off.
Oh wow!
I didn't scare her off.
You knew then.
She just talked to me like a human being.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So shout out to my wife, baby. I love you, and my stepson DJ as well. I love you too, buddy.
Beautiful. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.
Light up, enjoy the vibes. Please like and subscribe. That's the ROI. We put all this work in. This brother came, shared this beautiful information. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you tuning in.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Right. I love the cigar.
Highlight of the week, Smoking Leaf Pod, we do it every week. This week's highlight is a special one. I'm a free thinker. I absolutely use freedom of speech too much at times, but hey. And I'm able to do that. We're able to do that as the result of the service of veterans. So the highlight of the week for me, for us this week, is the result of the sacrificial service that veterans give to us. I know that we may think that what grants us these freedoms may be monetary. So if I'm wealthy, then I get these freedoms, right? Or if it's, or it could be geographical. Like you live in a dope neighborhood, gated community, you get these freedoms. That's not the case. These freedoms, these core freedoms, like the freedom of speech, the freedom to live in a place with running water, the freedom to live in a place that's safe and secure, is established to begin with by those men and women in the military. Nearly every freedom that we experience is either the result of the result of a person in the military fighting for that freedom, or them fighting to maintain that freedom. I'm thankful. Not a candidate. It's not political. It's something that we all benefit from. The land of the free because of the brave. And I'm thankful. Highlight of the week. And the style tip of the week is take care of your things. Take care of your things. You know that we buy things, we get things, but the only way to keep them is to take care of them. Some I value is hats, shoes, clothes. I value everything that I purchase, honestly. But because I truly value hats, I got the hat refresh service from a brand named Lunel. You'll see it below. Like brand new. Hat at least 5 years old, fully restored. And I think that men particularly, we think that maintenance has to be a dirty thing. I think we seem to find that the more unclean a thing could be, the more value it could have. The exact opposite is true in fashion. The exact opposite is true in style. You purchase things that are nice, you've gotta take care of them. So my advice, my style tip this week is to take care of things, and maintenance is not a filthy thing. In fashion, in style, maintenance is about being clean. Hat refresh service from Linnea, from my hat back to life. Take care of your stuff. Peace. And the style tip of the week is take care of your things. Take care of your things. You know that we buy things, we get things, but the only way to keep them is to take care of them. Some I value is hats, shoes, clothes. I value everything that I purchase, honestly. But because I truly value hats, I got the hat refresh service from a brand named Lunel. You'll see it below. Like brand new. Hat at least 5 years old, fully restored. And I think that men particularly, we think that maintenance has to be a dirty thing. I think we find that we seem to. And a recap of this week's podcast, I'm just happy. It went great. I learned a lot. One of the things we wanted to do on the pod was to evolve and become better people. And I think that I am a lot more appreciative after learning the things that I learned today, and hopefully they, you are too. But to recap, service is so important to our everyday, and service is important in your day-to-day. If you're a leader, if you're a follower, if you're a participant in anything, being willing to put yourself 1A instead of first place, 1B, will allow you to do nearly everything a little bit better. Taking the ego out, right? We talked about the importance of therapy, and if we hire specialists and people that are more skilled at doing things and crafts, then why not do that with your thought process, your brain, the way that you process emotions or things overall. We also touched on the importance of our military I want to say again, I'm thankful for every veteran alive and not, the families that support them in each and every branch. This week, we're going to do something a little special to be, I've often said that love is a verb and support is a verb, so why not, how could I not be demonstrative of that? How could we not be demonstrative of that? So this week, we're going to have a giveaway that, and the winners will be announced next week. The things that we're giving away are 2 humidors, very, very nice humidors. I won't go through opening them and all that right now. Now, they say you assume you make an ass out of you and me, but I'm assuming that because this is surrounding veterans, that attention to detail will be a little bit easier. So the attention to detail would be helpful if you use it in this. In order to participate, you need to like and subscribe. Comment the name of the veteran. If you're uncomfortable with commenting, DM us the name of that veteran. We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, can't be missed. So you can find us in all those places. Remember, a giveaway, 2 humidors. In order to participate, comment, like, and subscribe. And that comment should be the name of that veteran, or if you're uncomfortable with that, DM us those. Shout out to our sponsor, Linnea, for providing us with a super dope wardrobe care kit, the lint shaver, and the lint roller clutch. Remember, we're taking care of our things. Another thank you, huge thank you to Zodi'x. Thank you, Mr. Lowe, for being an amazing host as always. You all curated an amazing space. We're thankful for you. Remember the cop merch, comment, like, and subscribe. Love and support around here is a verb. Appreciate you. Tune in, light up, enjoy the vibes. Catch you next week. And one more thing. Ty, my brother, mentioned a lot of resources. He mentioned a lot of resources. It'll be below in the description. Take advantage of the resources. Veterans, family members of veterans, parents of veterans, children of veterans, which is of course family members of veterans. Take advantage of, make access, get access to those resources. You deserve them. You don't have to be tough. You don't have to be tough. The toughest thing you can do is take care of you. Swallow the ego, take care of yourself. Take care of your mind, take care of your body. Please do that. Talk to somebody, dial a 1-800 number. Please, take care of yourself. You are appreciated. I appreciate you. Smoking Leaf Podcast appreciates you. The country appreciates you.